Great Awakening and Grand Rising. I'm Kaneen. Now, I was trying to figure out the best way to respond to this comment that was left on a video that I did the other day when I was talking about my thoughts about Boosie and his relationships with the various men in his life. These are just my thoughts, not based on any proof, just my thoughts. And so there was a cis black woman, I'm assuming, because you never can tell in 2025, came into the comment section and made some remark that we want everyone to be gay, or we want everyone to be trans attracted, or we want everyone to be invited to the LGBTQIA cookout, if you will. And I don't host events where dead animals are being served on a grill. However, I will stop by and get a plate depending on if I'm fasting or not. But again, I wanted to just delve into it, and I feel like I need to have like some visualization to go with why I said what I said, because I've never had the luxury of being under the delusion that a lot of cis women are able to be under. And here's why. So this is a plantation, okay? A plantation has to have livestock on it to keep growing. And so in order to make that livestock grow and to make that plantation grow, then you have to have the ones who have innies and the ones who have outies to come together and make more livestock so the plantation can keep growing and growing. Now, you want the ones with the innies to feel comfortable letting the outies go in them, right? And so you have to create a situation that makes the one with the innies feel like the outies only want them. We can't say that they want trans men, trans women, gay men, queer people, non-binary people. We can't tell them that, We have to just let them think that they're the only one. Can I call you Rose? You're the chosen one, okay? And so we have to paint this reality that doesn't really tell you how the sausage is made or all of the various places that sausage goes in the shadows, okay? Because that sausage goes a lot of places. But anyway, because I started off being groomed to be an outie, to be someone with an outie, a man, I was being groomed for that because in this incarnation, I was born with sausage. And so, and a lot of y'all, you like to constantly remind us of that. But remember this, we are being reincarnated. So in the last reality, you probably had a sausage too, sis. So get off me. If you're 25 years old, 26 years ago, you probably had sausage your damn self. So anyway, this reality caters to the innie because it wants to make the innie feel comfortable being went up in. And so you don't get to see, because you weren't born with a sausage in this reality, all the various things that this sausage does in the shadows. And again, I've never had that luxury. I've seen sausage that said, hey, I would never do that. I would never put my mouth there. I would never be penetrated. Meanwhile, we live in a small community. The community of cis people and binary people, well, the people pretending to be cis and binary is huge. You know what I'm saying? And the people who are actually living in their truth, well, that community is a little bit smaller. But the people from this big old community over here are always coming into this little community at night. And so we get to see them all doing all various things. We get to see them putting sausage here, putting sausage there. And even when I tried to be delusional, like I didn't know what was going on, like, oh, well, I look like an innie now. I move like an innie now. Of course, he'll choose me over the one ones who still have their Audis, I went and laid on a table and got me an innie. Okay? So of course he'll choose me. And no, then I went on the block and I saw them on the block on the corner. A lot of times your husbands, your boyfriends, your baby's fathers in their little cars on the corner, riding through the block, picking up beings who look like they just put the wig on yesterday, look like they never had a hormone shot, hard as a brick, hard as cement. And they're jumping in and out of the cars with your baby's fathers, with your husbands, with your boyfriends. Yeah. Looking as hard as the road he drove down to pick them up with a full beard. Literally set the wig on their head when they stepped onto the block. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't see this the way that you see this. Because again, this reality doesn't cater to my delusion. Okay? I have to see the nasty truth that's going on in the shadows. I've seen it all. I get the phone calls and say, you know, child, he said he didn't do this, this, and that. He said he would never. But child, in the shadows. And guess what? We're in those times where what's done in these shadows is coming to light. So stop fighting it. And I also want to say this, just for clarity's sake. I don't have a problem with beings who are attracted to everything. Because I feel like if you had a positive example of masculinity, you had a positive example of femininity, then it makes sense for you to be attracted to that energy, whether it is from someone who is born with your same appendage or someone who has different genitalia. I think it's healthy to have romantic, emotional, all those types of feelings towards people, no matter their genitalia. It's called wholeness. Now, I also don't shame people if they've accepted a programming that says, I should only be with this person. But to me, it is divine to see the energy of a person, no matter what's between their legs, and to connect with that energy. But this reality has been perverted. We've forgotten our soul. We've forgotten that we're a part of a human experience. They say it's a human experience. I say it's a human experiment. And we are having this experiment. We're in this experiment, having this experience, and we're forgetting to see each other for what's inside. We only see what's outside. We are a very visual society. And unfortunately, that has worked to our detriment, not being able to discern the soul. So it's not a negative thing. It's not a put down to say that these men or these males are attracted to something other than the innie. It's not a put down. And when you change that mindset, when you come out of that mindset, then we will create a society where people can be honest and true about who they are. And it won't be a perverse thing that happens in the shadow, because suppression creates perversion. And the perversion, it is what's corrupting and eroding society. I hope you've enjoyed this little TED Talk. Have a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves. Laylim, Laylar Nation, and Purple Ones, rise. Later.